You're watching NewsX with me, Devika Chopra. It is 4 p.m. on counting day, D-Day for several political parties. And the numbers at 4 p.m. as they stand on the Election Commission website are as follows. For Chhattisgarh, BJP 54, Congress 34, GGP 1, BSP 1. Madhya Pradesh, BJP 168, Congress 61 and others 1. Rajasthan, BJP 114, Congress 70, IND 7 and BSP 2 and others 3. And Telangana, Congress at 63 now, BRS at 40, BJP at 9, AIMIM at 6 and CPI at 1. So these are the numbers, the latest numbers as they stand in the 4 states that have gone to election today. What does this really mean now? The elections for the states are done and dusted. There are several takeaways for both the BJP and the Congress. And as we're speaking, we're getting some breaking news as well. We've been told that both CM KCR and the Congress chief Revant Reddy are behind in the Kama Reddy seat. BJP's KV Ramana Reddy is pulling ahead of both CM KCR and Revant Reddy in the Kama Reddy seat. They've been trailing, of course, since morning, and BJP's KV Ramana continues to maintain his position as far as the Kama Reddy seat is concerned. All right, joining me on the broadcast is we have with us Ikram Sandhu of the Congress, Sumit Peer and Advocate Gyanendra Mishra, Raman Malik of the BJP also with us, and we will be joined by Himanshu Bhatt in a short while as well. Let me begin with Raman Malik. Raman Malik, what really is a big learning then for the BJP here? Are you now confident about 2024, or is there something that the BJP still needs to be cautious about?
See, BJP is a well-oiled machinery, and we have always stated this, that we are always ready for every election in a manner which states that not even the last man should be left. So we fight every election in a manner which says that it is the most important election. But as I was speaking to Rishabh a little while earlier, one must not forget that the statements of Congress of making people who vote for BJP as Rakshasas, Mr. Surjewala, very categorically said that, and he's very close confidant of Rahul Gandhi. In the Sanatan Dharma, Mr. Kharge also, the present president, had very categorically said that if Modi wins, it is going to be Sanatan Dharma which is going to win, and ye phir aapko jeene nahi denge. You remember that statement also. So you must not forget that in Sanatan Dharma, in every puja, there is a statement at the end, कि धर्म की जीत हो, अधर्म का विनाश हो, प्राणियों में सद्भावना हो और विश्व का कल्याण हो. So these basic 4 tenets of the Sanatan, that is Bharat, has been upheld by the people. Now, if you say that these are Rakshasas, then be it. That is one part. The second is, probably now there will be some Congress leaders who will come up with say that, oh, the EVMs in these 3 states were not working well. Probably Telangana alone, they were working well. The Modi guarantee, they are only attributing to Modi the person. They are forgetting that manifestation of developing India, that is also Modi. So Modi guarantee works. The most important thing which also needs to be discussed, and a lot of time that is being not discussed, is that Nota has won above the Kejriwal phenomena. So Nota is bigger than Kejriwal phenomena. That must also not be forgotten. And one more thing, the narrative in the last 2-3 days since the time the exit polls were coming, there were some channels whose video came out which was very categorically, ye hum kaise dikha sakte hain, how can we do this? And suddenly when they realized what has happened, a lot of channels started talking about, oh, Telangana is where the resurgence is happening. Now suddenly the resurgence, like the women empowerment that happened in the Rahul Gandhi debate, the resurgence of Telangana became the buzzword with certain media outlets. Now, everything else was not discussed except Telangana, Telangana, Telangana. So now I want to understand from those media outlet also, which is important for debating, that why is it that you are not able to accept it? I have a I've seen the videos of Mr. I would not like to name I should not be naming, so I repress from that. But senior journalists have been having a problem of foot and mouth, and they have been there on various channels, and they've been having their YouTubes also.
Okay.
Now, coming back to the Congress issue, the Congress has to understand, and this is a bigger debate for the nation. The nation needs bipolar politics at least. It cannot be just one party. And this bipolar politics is not, if it is not there, there is no democracy. सो डेमोक्रेसी खतरे में इसलिए है क्योंकि कांग्रेस अपना पार्ट नहीं कर पा रही है. डेमोक्रेसी खतरे में इसलिए है बिकॉज दे have failed for the 14th time to launch a product, and the product has failed for the 14th time to get launched. They must dump that product now and rethink, re-strategize how to visit 2024.
Okay,
And
all right.
beyond.
So the BJP,
Because
they're
the
a little
nation
bit
needs
concerned.
bipolar at least.
No, you're absolutely right about that. You're absolutely right about that, Raman Malik. You're absolutely right about that. Yes, the nation does need, for any democracy to be healthy, of course, you need clear rivals at least, and clear parties. They're presenting their plans for the nation. Ikram Sandhu, let me bring you into the conversation. It's a difficult day for the Congress party today. Yes, it's been a big victory in Telangana. However, it's also been a major loss in both Rajasthan and Chhattisgarh. But let me first talk about Madhya Pradesh. Fine, you had your governments in Rajasthan and Chhattisgarh, and of course, there was an anti-incumbency factor that comes in as well after a government has been in power. But as far as Madhya Pradesh is concerned, did the Congress party make a miscalculation hoping that the anti-incumbency factor against the BJP will play out on its own, and somehow the Congress will manage to win the election in Madhya Pradesh? Was not enough effort then put into that state?
Good afternoon, Devika. First of all, I'll take a point on what Mr. Raman said, and he was talking about, what Mr. Surjewala said about Mr. Modi and the voters. I'll just remind him that Mr. Modi has said more caustic and blatant things about his opponents than anybody has said about him. A mother for him is a Jersey cow.
One minute, sir. Mr. Sandhu, please, Mr. Sandhu. Mr. Sandhu, Mr. Surjewala said the voters are Rakshas. He never said us. अगर हमारे को बोला होता चलता है, वोटर को नहीं बोलने का, वोटर मालिक है.
You get your time, I will not let you speak. So
let's have that decorum. You are quoting me wrong.
I did not.
You quoted me wrong, sir. You quoted me wrong, Mr. Sandhu. That is what your problem is. Please understand. Mr. Surjewala said that voters are Rakshas who vote for BJP are Rakshas.
Come on, just hold your horses and let me finish. And when you have your time, you can rebut me. Otherwise, the next time you will speak, I will not let you speak. So let's have the decorum in a debate. If there's a point that you have against me, when your turn comes, you can say that.
All right.
Okay.
So, I've let you both have at it for a minute, but if we can just come back and remember that it's still my studio, my debate.
Absolutely.
So, Ikram Sandhu, I'll give you the floor now. Raman Malik, why don't you note down the point? If he is quoting you wrong, I'll let you address that also. Ikram Sandhu, please go ahead.
Yes, now coming to this election, so that we have left behind the casticity of the campaign, which happens on both sides. There is an election that happened in Telangana. So I'll just, break it into two. South of the Vindhyas, north of the Vindhyas. So south of the Vindhyas, the last few months have been really good for Congress. We had a turnaround in Karnataka. Now we have won Telangana, and now we are looking forward to Andhra Pradesh, which will have election in the next 3-4 months with the national election. So that is where Congress is very strong. Then you have Kerala, where BJP really doesn't exist. And in Tamil Nadu, post their divorce with Anna DMK, it's the DMK and Congress alliance, which is in pole position. But yes, we have to concede that as far as the west and north of India is concerned, that is where a problem is, and we have a problem. Now, if you will just analyze this election, because the results are still coming in, but Devika, if you will see the vote percentage of Congress is nearly there. In the last election, we were, I believe, at 39% or 39.5% in Rajasthan. We are at around 41%. In MP also, our vote share has gone up with 1%. But yes, the third block, which was around 15 to 20% of the vote, which parties like Ajit Jogi's party in Chhattisgarh or BSP or SP in MP or in Rajasthan used to take, has collapsed. And the concern for us is that that vote has not come to the Congress. So our core vote has remained at 40-42 in all these three states, but the incremental which should have come because the third parties have collapsed has gone to the BJP, and because of that, BJP is having the result that is having. And I have no problem, at least I'm a gracious loser if it comes to that, that yes, give the credit where it is due, that incremental vote which conventional wisdom said that will come to the Congress if it collapses, which is the third party vote, has gone to the BJP. And now it is too early in 4 hours to analyze why that has happened. But we have to analyze that somebody who voted for Ajit Jogi's party when they had an alliance with, Mayawati and Chhattisgarh, why has that vote moved to BJP and not to Congress? Similarly, in Bundelkhand, the SP vote share has come down. Why has it not moved to the Congress? Similarly, in eastern Rajasthan, why we have not been able to get it. So we have kept our base intact, but base intact doesn't help you in politics. It is the incremental that we have to go for, and the incremental is something where we have not been able to score in these three elections, and that is the main concern for us. The 40-42 is safe for us, but we have to take the next 4-5% in all these states to win, which you have not been able to do in this election, and that's the bottom line.
Okay, Sumit Peer. If the Congress were to today sit and do an analysis of what has gone wrong, it is very clear that in Karnataka, you didn't have a lot of the factionalism that you've had in both Rajasthan and Chhattisgarh. In Karnataka, it was DK Shivkumar leading and Siddaramaiah, of course, with him as a second key leader. DK Shivkumar, even though everybody said that the election was purely and solely won because of his personal efforts, he put himself aside. He did not, in his heart of hearts, I've said this before, maybe he felt bad about the fact that he wasn't made chief minister even after securing that landslide victory for the Congress party. But he's put all of that aside and he's putting the party first. And he said, okay, whatever you give me, whatever post and position you give me, I accept it graciously. Now let's move on to the next. And they've done the same in Telangana. So is this then a learning for the Congress party as well, that until and unless you have a strong leader who can take on the might of a Narendra Modi, you need to at least have very clear leadership in the state, which is what they've done in Telangana. They've put a Revanth Reddy across. Everybody's backed him and supported him, and he's secured the numbers. He's gotten the numbers. If they just followed the same strategy in Rajasthan, where there's a Gehlot versus Pilot going on, or Chhattisgarh, where there were rumors of a Baghel versus T.S. Singhdeo battle, perhaps the numbers would have been different today for the Congress.
See, Devgaji, there are a couple of things which went wrong for the Congress. The first and the most important thing is everybody in Congress is fighting its own election. For MP, it is Kamal Nathji's election. For, Chhattisgarh, it is Mr. Bhupesh Baghel. For Rajasthan, it is, one of the two camps which is fighting the election. While if you look at BJP, you have a complete cadre which is fighting. You have the Sanka cadre which is fighting. Then you have MPs and ministers who are asked to resign and fight for as MLAs. They agree to it. Then on the top of it, you have the Modi magic which is working. The problem with Congress is they don't want a situation where they would have a Rahul Gandhi versus Prime Minister Modi. They know that's not an advantage for them. While in the BJP of all Sandri Mantris, everybody will come and campaign. Yogi Adityanath ji, Amit Shah ji, everybody will campaign, whoever is required, and strengthen the party. Then you have Prime Minister's guarantee, which has a lot, which is the deciding factor. The Prime Minister's aura is the deciding factor. When I say Modi ki guarantee versus Rahul ki guarantee, you know which guarantee is going to prevail and which guarantee is going to sell with the people. So when all these factors work together and the Sangathan is well oiled, it's not anybody's personal election, it is an election of the Sangathan. Today, you see, with all the three states, there is no chief minister declared. Yet they have won all the three states. And what is very, very different, what this election has thrown is that wherever Congress and BJP are able to give a vikalp or a sustainable option, the local parties are decimating. What happened in Karnataka? what your JDS lost the votes, they moved to Congress. What happened here is BRS has lost and the votes have moved to Congress. But do you call it a Congress win? No, it is not a Congress win. Yes, it is technically, practically a win. But if you would have taken the vote share of everybody and emerged adoption at the cost of somebody's debacle, if you emerge, that will be a temporary solution. So when people talk of Karnataka model, when people talk of Kejriwal model, I always question them, why does it only work in one state or one province? Look, you try to divide Hindus. You try to do a caste census. Now Congress is trying to divide Hindus versus North and South. But when it comes to the Lok Sabha, this division of Hindus on the base of caste, on the base of North-South, on the base of East-West, this is not going to work. Look, 15% Muslim vote is not going to make you or win you the seats. You have to take that Hindu sentiment together. When Mr. Stalin Jr. was talking, we have to eradicate Sanatan Dharma. When Kharge ji told that, bhai, agar ye Modi jeetega, to Sanatan Dharmi jeetenge. You know what Mr. Malik said right now. So there is no opposition within the Congress. And yet you say you're Dattatreya, Kol Kashmiri, Pandit Jhaniyudari, Shiv Bhakta, and you do temple hopping at the time of a Gujarat election. And on the contrary, you go to the Supreme Court of India and say, Bhagwan Shri Ram to Kalpanik Patra. And yet you say, Ayodhya mein Ram Mandir ka Udyapan ho raha, Congress ko invitation nahi mila. So either this is true or that is true. You can't be seasonal on this. You can't be seasonal on this. You have to have a track record of development, and you don't have a leader of the stature of Modi ji. And the problem is, when it will come to the Lok Sabha Chunavs, today you can have Baghel ji, you can have Mr. Kapoor, you can have everybody. But when it comes to Lok Sabha elections, when it's Prime Minister Modi, you have to put Mr. Rahul Gandhi in the front of him. Baghel ji or Kamal Nath ji or anybody cannot confront Modi at a national level. So what will happen then? How are you going to work that? And the question I want to ask, India Alliance, the people, if you are not able to hold your own states, how are you going to counter, BJP at a national level when on own states you are not able to hold the ground? These are the things which Congress has to look. There's one thing which is said, Devika ji. If I keep on doing what I did last year, exactly the same this year, how can this year be better than last year? You can try with Rahul Gandhi ji, you can keep on trying with him, but it's not working. The family's control on party is not delivering the goods. You have to understand that. Maybe a different regenerated party, a different Congress is the answer. Yes, we want a opposition. We want a powerful opposition. But only you go to the mandate and say, bhai, Modi ko hatana hai. That people will not give you a mandate on that. And caste census has not worked. Dividing India has not worked. This north side south divide will not work. I can bet you on that. Let the parliamentary elections come. And last point I want to make. Even if you're very strong in south, you have lost Hindi heartlet, you have lost UP, you have lost Northeast. On these states, understanding that regional satraps also play an important role. Are you going to make it to the Delhi? No. Why? By 50 seats, you might go 60, 70. But are you here for a consolation prize, or are you going to go on? Now, if 2024 is gone, you're not looking at 29, you're looking at 34 then. Honestly, you're looking at 34 then. Then after 10 years, what will be the geopolitical conditions? What will be the political conditions? What will be the leadership conditions? Do you have can anybody visualize, will Mr. Rahul Gandhi or Priyanka ji or Sonia ji be a power to reckon with? And will Congress back on them to win 34? That is the question which Congress has to do. So a new Congress is the answer. The family's hold on Congress is not working. You have to let it go. everything has a time. It worked for some time. It is not working. From 450 seats, you're down to 50 seats. And still you want to continue with the old formula. Ma'am, there's something wrong, which the people need to understand and really, really need to say, goodbye. Bhai, bahut ho gaya. Let's try a new model. It may or may not work, but let's try a new model. Let's make a force which is a real potential threat to BJP. The way you are going, it's a cakewalk, and more you project Rahul Gandhi for the wins. Mr. Malik here will be laughing and he'll be happy because he exactly wants you to project Rahul Gandhi for every win so that you put Rahul Gandhi against Modi ji and you know what the result is going to be.
Okay, all right. Samit, I'll come back to you. Gyanendra Mishra, bringing you into the conversation as well. I just like to understand, what does the result today, where does that then leave the INDI alliance as per you? Now, they're meeting up on the 6th of December. Yes, there will be congratulatory messages for the Congress party as far as their win in Telangana is concerned. But the rest of the states, where they were sort of hoping to retain Chhattisgarh, to retain Rajasthan, they were definitely hoping that they'll manage to bring down the BJP in Madhya Pradesh. None of that has happened. Where does that leave? What position do you feel that leaves the Congress party in as far as being the key towards holding that opposition alliance is concerned?
The way, I look at it, that these results would be in a one way beneficial for the India alliances, I would say. Because now the expectation from the Congress as well as the fear of the Congress that the Congress may be, the driving force, the most important and powerful force within the India alliance, and therefore the natural successor to the post of the Prime Minister if the India alliance win, if it wins. So I think these elections will bring all the partners of the India alliance or on more common platform where every alliance partner will have an opportunity to do well, to put the right effort in the 2024 elections and see that they come to the power, they have the winning number, and then everyone would be depending on their performance and their contribution to the success of India alliances, then claim as a natural, claimant to the post of prime ministership.
Okay.
So therefore, these results, I don't see any direct damage to the prospect or the cohesion of the India alliance. If you ask me, I will see that India alliance will feel more coherent. All the partners will feel to be an important part in the game, and every partner would like to put the best foot forward so that their contribution in the winning of the India alliances is the significant one, and therefore claim to be the
Okay.
the real beneficiary of that winning.
Okay.
So this is how I look at it.
Okay, interesting perspective there. Let me bring in Ikram Sandhu as well. Ikram, I understand that it's not easy for the Congress party today with the result that has taken place. But as far as the 2024 elections are concerned, is there some sort of a learning from what has happened, say, in Madhya Pradesh, where there was a fight with your, INDI alliance partner, the Samajwadi Party, ahead of the elections? Does the Congress party somewhere feel that that has played a major part in the numbers that we see today? The fact that you didn't go ahead with a Samajwadi Party and there was pretty much, you were fighting those elections on your own, and at the end of the day, the sort of narrative it set out for the other alliance partners as well, who started doubting the health of the bloc altogether. Is that going to be a learning for the Congress?
Every day is a learning, and today will be a day of learning, which is more important than other days. I concede that. But then we have to come, when you talk about the national election in India, and we can all agree on that, it is not just one election. It is actually 29 state elections that are held at the same time. So we have to work according to that. Who is in pole position in which state? Now, when we are talking about these three states, talk about Rajasthan, talk about MP, and talk about Chhattisgarh. Come March, April 2024, it will again be the Congress which will be taking on the BJP. There is just nobody else. As I've told you today, the others have shrunk to single digits in all the three states. So that is what it is. And I'm very open to concede when it comes to Bengal, it will be Mamata Banerjee who will be on the pole position to take on the BJP. When it comes to UP, it has to be Akhilesh Yadav who will be the captain of that match in UP, who will have to, stir the ship as far as taking on the BJP is concerned. There is no anomaly on that. And therefore, when we talked about these elections, it was, let's put these elections behind us, because these are the state election where there is a one-to-one between the Congress and the BJP in the heartland. And then it is Congress versus the PRS as far as Telangana is concerned. And then we will come to the national picture. And therefore, today is the 3rd, and within 2 days on the 6th, the India Alliance is meeting, and everybody is meeting. And from now on, I can tell you that it will be all hands on deck. And the main thing that will be considered is, how do we stop BJP, and how does India Alliance come to power in 2024? And it will be a straight and simple statewide thing. In Haryana, the strategy will be different from what it will be in Rajasthan. Rajasthan will be different from what it will be in Maharashtra. Maharashtra will be different from what it is in Jharkhand. And that is how it will go. So every person, every leader in his state has to deliver. The Congress has the bigger responsibility because there are more states in which we have a one-on-one with the BJP. There are something like 9 or 10 states in which it's a direct contest between the Congress and the BJP. And we have to pull up our socks. We really have to pull up our socks. We have to see to it that the core voter that we have stays with that, but we have to get in the incremental voter. Because the way the bipolarity is happening, gone are the days where you could win an election with 35, 38% vote share, which was happening maybe 10, 15 years ago. With this bipolar thing coming in, you have to hit a figure of 46, 47%, actually win an election. And that is where I have no problem in conceding that today we have come short by 4 or 5%. And this is the 4 to 5% that we have to work on. And we have to slog for it over the next 6 months.
Okay, I'm going to come back to Ikram Sandhu. Some important, as we were discussing at the start of this bulletin, stunning developments coming in from the constituency of Kamareddy, where BRS Supremo KCR and Congress Pradesh President Revant Reddy, they locked horns despite leading from their home constituencies of Gajwel and Kodangal very comfortably. It now turns out that neither of them is leading in Kamareddy. It's in fact another leader altogether after the 13th round of counting. My colleague Pia with us on the broadcast. Pia, take it away.
Indeed, let's take a look at what exactly is panning out in Telangana. K. Chandrasekhar Rao is contesting from Kamareddy but also from Gajwel, where he is leading in Gajwel currently. And his opponent in the Kamareddy constituency, which is Revant Reddy, is also leading from another constituency, which is Kodangal. But exactly where they're locking horns, the constituency which everyone has their eyes on is Kamareddy itself, where both these leaders are trailing. Right here you can see on your screen incumbent Chief Minister of the state KCR is trailing from Kamareddy, and as well as Revant Reddy of the Congress. He's been leading the campaign of the Congress party in Telangana. He is also trailing from Kamareddy. He's trailing and in fact both these big leaders are trailing from the Bharatiya Janata Party candidate KV Ramana Reddy. They're trailing by a mere 16 votes. Although they are leading their other constituencies from where they are contesting. Of course, KCR leading from Gajwel as well as Revant Reddy leading from Kodangal. But this is the big battleground where both these big wigs are in fact trailing at the moment, and the BJP has an edge. Back to you, Devika.
All right, Pia, of course, interesting developments there taking place. Coming back to Raman Malik. Raman Malik, ultimately, of course, a win is a win, and there will be a lot of factors for the BJP to analyze as well. But at this point in time, what do you feel? How does this now improve the poll mathematics for the BJP in 2024?
I would definitely say this much, that since 2009 elections onward, especially after the elections of 2014 when we came to power, there is a certain shift. The voting has become more subjective. The voting patterns have become more subjective to the needs of the constituents in that particular election. So let's say if it is a Vidhan Sabha election, the issues and the requirements and the analysis done by the voter, whom the senior Congress leader had called, and the tapes are available, as Rakshasas who support BJP. Whoever votes for BJP or supports BJP is a Rakshasa. That is what his term was. So, those people are the ones who are basically culprit for this brigade of Congress. But nonetheless, the requirement of the people has changed, and they have become very subjective to this, that they will require a certain set of leadership in the state where their immediate needs from the state governments have to be fulfilled, and they will going to be voting in that manner. The same way it goes for the nation, and if it appeals that both the things are in tandem, they will vote, vote for both the BJP at that point in time for the double engine Sarkar. But let's understand that what is there. Now, the basic point is that the BJP has committed, has delivered. Most of the promises, even those promises which were done way, way back, and there was an issue of not being able to execute it because of coalition or other things, at point when NDA 1 came to power. Now, those promises from that era have been fulfilled. If you remember, there was this one bridge which Prime Minister Modi inaugurated. This was completed under Prime Minister Modi, but inauguration and the foundation links ceremony was done under Jawaharlal Nehru ji. Now, you cannot have that much of lagging behind. The regional aspiration of people will not wait that long. And deliverance, when we talk about deliverance, you talk about that, we were the ones who gave people about 60,000 crore rupees of farm loan waiver. It is about 4.5 lakh crores that this government has already given to the people. And it's not an ehsan on to somebody that, the way Congress says. No. It is the right of the poor of the farming community which we have delivered. It is the aspirations of about 100 crore people or 15 crore people that are there who believe in Sanatan Dharma, which is being delivered in January. The 370, which was uncompromisable for Congress and the other party, and there were people who used to say, "Katlo garat ho jayegi sahab, agar wo hata doge 370 to." वो 370 हट गया, कश्मीर आगे चल पड़ा, निकल गया कश्मीर आगे, डेवलपमेंट की राह पे आगे चल रहा है. That is delivered. Defense production is delivered. Where there was, every time there was a defense deal, there was a scam. That defense mechanism, that defense production is being delivered. The DBT is an important arm in taking away the worries of late Rajiv Gandhi, who used to get worried that he sends 1 rupee and only 15 paisa reaches. So that is delivered. The Har Ghar Jal is being delivered. The Ujwala is being delivered. The Pakka Makan is being delivered. The women are being given their due space. Delivered. There's no Shah Banu and Saira Banus now. That is being eliminated. A human life is being valued upon. The most important thing is every Indian matters. When Madhya Pradesh saw this, that there was a time when Bhopal happened and there's a time when the Uttarakhand tunnel happened, they saw the difference in the governance and the intent of the governance.
Okay.
And Anderson was saved. And the Indians, the 41 Indians, were saved by bringing in anything and everything that is possible in the world under the sky to do it. And that is the guarantee of Modi, that every Indian would be served properly. He is a sevak of 140 crore people. He is not the ruler of 140 crore people. That's a different thing. That over 100 crore plus people, keep him in his heart. Keep Modi in their heart. That is what he has earned. So you cannot compare that from somebody like Rahul Gandhi, who does not even understand or comprehend what the differential is between earning respect and demanding respect.
Okay, as we speak, visuals on our screens of Revant Reddy's roadshow now in Telangana after securing that big victory for the Congress party. Ikram Sandhu, bringing you into the conversation here. Does this election now set a very clear premise for the Congress party to look into a sort of a generational change of guard?
Devika, first I'll just touch on what my dear friend Malik Saab just said. He talked about Nehruji, Panditji is what they have to go back to. So just let me tell him that in 1942, India had the great famine of Bengal. And in 1947, we became independent. And it was under Panditji that the Green Revolution started, that Mr. Modi can today give a guarantee that 80 crore people will be given Anaj for the next 5 years. It is because of that Green Revolution that Food Corporation of India came up. It is because of that Green Revolution that you have godowns in India where we are food grain surplus. So that is how politics works. Somebody did a work at some time, and today you are reaping the benefit. Second thing you're talking about, because, everything according to you is that we said something which was very wrong. I'll just remind you what happened on 6th December 1992. Atal Bihari Vajpayee that evening said, "Today is the most shameful day of my life that the Babri Masjid has come down." Do you subscribe to that view today? It was that your tallest leader felt ashamed that Babri Masjid has come down, and today you're tom-tomming that on those ruins the Ram temple has come up. So today, is Mr. Vajpayee a hero or is he a villain for you? Because for your hero, the day of your greatest glory was actually the most shameful day of his political life. Now coming to other things, as far as defense is concerned, you have always talked about defense and buffers, and there was corruption in that. Tell me which court in India has said that there was corruption in buffers. When a documentary by BBC comes on Mr. Modi, you say the Supreme Court has exonerated him, therefore it is anti-national and wrong to spur anything on Mr. Modi. Similarly, the Supreme Court on Bofa said that there's not an iota of evidence against Rajiv Gandhi, and the NDA, the first NDA government of Mr. Atal Bihari Vajpayee went on a fishing trip and they spent something like 500 crores when there was just no culpability. So on what basis are you saying that Congress indulged in any kind of corruption as far as defense deals are concerned? So it is very well to say various things. I can turn around and give you counter argument on all of them. So that is the political space of it. Now coming as far as the next election is concerned, the cycle which will happen in 2024. I am very clear that we have to divide this election into spheres. There will be a north and west, which is the stronghold of the BJP, but mark my words, they will face huge reverses as far as Maharashtra is concerned and in all other states. On the east, their glory days are gone. After what has happened in Manipur, they will fall to half the seats that they had in the northeast. And in Bengal, they have already hit their highest of 18 that they got last time. They will be tottering in single digits if the elections are held today. And south again, where you had 30 MPs, in the last cycle in 2019. I can assure you with our resurgence in Karnataka and in Telangana, we will see to it that there also you're reduced to single digits. So it is game on. I know that hubris has a dirty habit of catching on, so I won't be too gung-ho about it, but the game is on and it is anybody's game.
Okay, all right. As we speak, Prime Minister Modi has tweeted out just a few minutes ago. I'm just going to quickly read it out. For our viewers, he says on X, "We bow to the Janta Janardhan. The results in Chhattisgarh, Madhya Pradesh and Rajasthan indicate that the people of India are firmly with politics of good governance and development, which the BJP stands for. I thank the people of these states for their unwavering support and assure them that we will keep working tirelessly for their well-being. A special thanks to the hard-working party Karyakartas. Each of them is exemplary. They have worked tirelessly and highlighted our development agenda amongst people." So this is what he's put out. And for Telangana, he writes, "My dear sisters and brothers of Telangana, thank you for your support to the BJP over the last few years. This support has only been increasing and this trend will continue in the times to come. Our bond with Telangana is unbreakable and we will keep working for our people. I also appreciate the industrious efforts of each and every BJP Karyakarta." Gyanendra Mishra, is the Prime Minister then correct when he says that ultimately not having a face in a clear face, rather state leadership wise in Madhya Pradesh, in Rajasthan, in Chhattisgarh worked in the BJP's favor, because the ultimate poll pivot then was solely focusing on what is it that the BJP has to promise as far as guarantees are concerned, as far as development is concerned, and has the BJP's Vikas politics actually worked? Because a lot of the people were concerned, and a lot of times as far as state elections are concerned, one does think that, okay, not having a state leader could actually backfire for a political party. But as far as these states are concerned, have they shown that actually if you focus on presenting yourself as a person who's capable of good governance, as a political party that is capable of delivering on promises and setting an agenda, then it doesn't matter who you propel as the leader in the state? That's someone that you can choose after winning the election as well.
See, I don't see that there is a thumb rule around it, because if that would have been the thumb rule, then same would have worked for BJP in Karnataka also. It would have worked for BJP in Himachal Pradesh also. It would have worked for BJP in Telangana also. Because in 3 states also, they did not, kind of went for any face of any particular state leader as in chief ministerial candidate. And all these 3 states, BJP failed. And one of the reasons for failure was attributed on too much reliance on the central leadership, on the face of the Prime Minister and Home Ministers and other central leadership, because the narrative was that, when the people of a state election vote, they don't vote for the Prime Minister because they know that the Prime Minister is not coming and sitting over the governance in the state. It is the state leader. And therefore, that state leader in which people are reposing their faith has to be a credible, identified leader with a proven track record of deliverance. So I would not agree, because as I said, if that would have been the rule, then it would have been succeeded in all other situations also. In this, the problem for not putting, I believe, not putting in state leadership phase with the BJP is because, one, there is no credible state face, and wherever there is a state face, the central leadership does not have the kind of an confidence to allow that leadership, state leadership, to take the central stage, because they feel that creating a very strong central leadership will act as a counterpoint to the face of and the popularity of or acceptance of or omnipresence and omniscience of Prime Minister. And therefore, they have gone for the central leadership phase. Now today in the Madhya Pradesh, for BJP, we are giving credence to the central leadership. But in my understanding, the central leadership has almost left Madhya Pradesh at the fag end of the election at the hand of Shivraj Chauhan, because there was an understanding and feeling that in Madhya Pradesh they may be losing, and that is why the entire focus of Prime Minister, Home Minister, Nadda ji and everybody has shifted to Rajasthan, where they started doing the extensive rallies and a very significant presence. So I don't subscribe to that. Yes, the one thing is that there's a 2-3 clear advantage to BJP. When you look at, all the other political party, including Congresses, that is very well-oiled organizational structure, which the Congress is still in the process of making. The Rahul Gandhi's Bharat Jodo Yatra has really been a very positive factor in terms of galvanizing the cadre of the Congress party, the workers, but there are still a lot to be done in terms of ground level organizational structure and create a dedicated, well-oiled organizational structure which works from the top to the bottom, which the BJP has kind of put a lot of effort, energy, and obviously they have an advantage of having an RSS cadre. But I will not deny the efforts that the BJP leadership puts in, creating first that kind of an organizational structure, engaging that during, it is not as if that they do it only at the time of the election. They do it on a continuous basis, engaging with the cadre, trying to galvanize them, trying to put a focus on them. And that really helps them, in terms of managing, the nuances of an election, which the Congress is not able to do or match at the level that the BJP does. And it is very important for Congress to learn a lesson out of this defeat and start focusing on its organization structure, particularly at a bottom level, to identified workers, to galvanize them, to create a well-oiled machinery which works continuously with keeping in view or the focus the elections that is coming. And if they do it, I don't see any reason that why the Congress would be a very credible force against the BJP, because the one positive aspect you are saying in these elections is that the politics is moving towards the bipolar, which is a good sign, where the BJP at a one pole and the Congress is in another pole.
Okay.
So
Interesting.
there's a clear identification now.
Okay, Sumit, would you agree with that? That there is somewhere this win for the Congress in Telangana can perhaps worry the other regional parties in other states, that there could be a shift in politics very soon?
See, Devga ji, lot of regional parties are there because they have benefited out of Congress. They have cannibalized Congress. The biggest example is Aam Aadmi Party. Aam Aadmi Party is there because Congress did not fight Delhi, and then it became a problem for them in Punjab. You know, it is because Congress let Aam Aadmi Party come up. Now, what happened in Karnataka? Look, JDS was cannibalized and the Congress came back to power. Here, BRS was cannibalized and Congress came back to power. So I completely agree. Wherever the Congress and BJP are able to give sustainable options, it is going to be more and more a bi-party election. What regional parties should be worried about, if Congress and BJP have a solid cadre, these people have very less space and they're fizzling out. Why is Akhilesh Yadav suddenly upset with the India Alliance? When he said, "Bhai, inhone mujhe dhokha de rahi hai, inhone mujhe ye kar diya," because Akhilesh Babu is feeling that if Congress and BJP becomes a power in UP, there's no space for me. You know, where is Mayawati ji in UP for that matter today? She is not a force any longer. So if you look at the recent developments, it is moving more to a bipolar side. Regional parties are not even able to make a dent in the state assembly elections. That is where it is important. They were not able to do anything in the national elections, but even at the state assembly elections, if the BRS is gone, you can talk about anti-incumbency, but what about MP, the 4th term? What about Gujarat, 7th term? So when there is pro-incumbency in MP and Gujarat, why there is anti-incumbency for Mr. Rao? Because unfortunately, what happened, it became a family business, between son, daughter, then the liquor scam happened, then Ms. Kavita was summoned by the ED, and the things are going on, and Manish Sisodia ji is still in prison. Satinder Jain, I don't know, is he in and out? So there are things which are heating up on the other side, while as if Congress and BJP are able to give sustainable options, people still think, okay, yaar, let's put our bets on this. Because honestly, even if a national election, with due respects to everybody, if you make Akhilesh Babu win, how is 8, 9 or 20 MPs or MPs are going to make a difference at a national level? It will not. It is better you send a person to the parliament who will really make a difference for you. That is where the regional party should be worried. That is why in my initial comment I brought a point, Devika ji. If this is what the trend is, how is India Alliance going to become a national alternative? Because you're not able to hold your states at a state level also. How are you going to hold and challenge Modi at a national level? And if you ask me today, in the whole of India Alliance, I will be very clear with you. Still, there is only one prime ministerial candidate at a national level, that is Rahul Gandhi only. There is no prime ministerial candidate except Rahul Gandhi, and they are not ready to accept that. Though it is a tough fight between Modi and Rahul ji, I agree that. But who is the prime ministerial candidate? Kejriwal with one MP? Chandrasekhar Rao ji, Stalin, Mamta Didi, who is the MP? And I have seen people who don't have even one MP. Now they have one MP. They were saying, I'm a prime minister's candidate. How can Kejriwal ji become a prime ministerial candidate with one MP in the parliament and Rahul Gandhi is not a prime ministerial candidate? These are the things which they have to go back and do a serious introspective. We have to protect somebody. I mean, I don't know how much are the chances, but it cannot be a Nitish Babu by any means. It cannot be a Stalin. It cannot be a Chandrasekhar Rao. It cannot be a Kejriwal. It can't be even Mamta Didi. What is the stature of TMC minus outside West Bengal?
Okay.
No, nothing. There's only one national party, that is Congress, and there's another party which is BJP. Let us all reconcile to this fact and think around that.
Okay.
You don't have the prime ministerial candidate except Rahul Gandhi.
Okay.
That's it.
All right. The man that you see on your screens right now, Revanth Reddy, he's holding a road show, and my colleague Jaiprakash had an exclusive conversation with him on Friday before the polls. but it's still relevant to hear what he had to say. So let's quickly listen in to what is it that Revanth Reddy had to say to NewsX.
Well, the exit poll numbers are out, and in Telangana, the Congress is sweeping. Looks like the ambassador car has broken down, and then whose hand is there behind the car being broken down? I have with me Revanth Reddy, Telangana PCC President. Sir, all the exit polls, looking at the trend, is giving a comfortable majority to Congress party. What worked for the Congress party?
केसीआर फेल्यूस देखकर यहाँ के जनता केसीआर को हराने के लिए तय किए. सो ओनली अल्टरनेट इज कांग्रेस पार्टी. 2004 to 14 वी हैव डन वेरी गुड डेवलपमेंट एंड एज वेल वेलफेयर. तो हमारा जो प्रोग्रेस रिपोर्ट है, प्रोग्रेस रिपोर्ट दिखा के हम वोट मांगा है आम जनता से. तो लोग कंपेयर किए 2004 to 14 कांग्रेस पार्टी एरा, 14 to 24 ऑलमोस्ट 10 years BR एरा. तो देयर इज एन क्वाइट कॉन्ट्रास्ट. तो इसीलिए लोग कांग्रेस बहुत बेहतर है बोल के कांग्रेस के लिए वोट दिया हुआ है.
तेलंगाना स्टेट फॉर्म हुआ, 10 साल कांग्रेस नहीं था, भारत जोड़ो यात्रा हुआ, एक मोमेंटम सुनामी जैसा पिक कर गया है. और ये जो आंकड़े बता रहे हैं कि यू आर गेटिंग अराउंड 60-65 नंबर्स. व्हाट आर योर प्रेडिक्शंस? व्हाट नंबर्स आर यू गिविंग फॉर द पार्टी?
80 एटलीस्ट 80+. तो अभी भी मैं जो आंकड़े एब्सोल्यूट मेजॉरिटी सरकार बनाने के लिए, मगर अकॉर्डिंग टू माय रीडिंग वी आर गोइंग टू गेट 80 seats at least.
Sir, you riding high on the Karnataka success of guarantee scheme. 6 guarantee scheme, is it possible to implement? What can the people of Telangana expect?
Definitely it's an easy to implement all those 6 schemes. अगर केसीआर जैसा लूटी करना छोड़ दिए तो बस वो तो कोई प्रॉब्लम ही नहीं है. तो इसीलिए हमें पता है, क्योंकि वेलफेयर हमने किया था, जो किसान के कर्जा माफ़ी किए, राजीव आरोग्य श्री लाए, फिर रियम्बर्समेंट दिए, बहुत सारे वेलफेयर स्कीम्स वी हैव डन फ्रॉम 2004 to 14. तो वेलफेयर जितने भी वेलफेयर करना है तो वो कांग्रेस से सीखना है कोई भी. तो इसीलिए इस बार भी वेलफेयर हमेशा कांग्रेस पार्टी जो भी फ्री पावर किसानों के लिए बोले तो यही बात का इट इज़ जस्ट इम्पॉसिबल, कैसे हो सकता है, कौन कर सकता है, ऐसे बहुत सारे चर्चा हुआ था 2004 में. अभी भी ऐसे कुछ ये 6 गारंटीज़ के बारे में भी चर्चा हो रहा है. ऐसा कोई दिक्कत नहीं है, हम लोग वो मुमकिन करा के दिखाएंगे.
KCR emerged as the face of Telangana. You are, as a party president, a giant slayer, bringing the party to majority, and that too with a comfortable majority, 70+ seats that you're looking at. What are the main priorities for the government which will be coming in? Because I think people have voted because of the disappointments of the BRS largely.
तो ये वेलफेयर एंड डेवलपमेंट एंड सेल्फ रेस्पेक्ट, सोशल जस्टिस, इक्वल डेवलपमेंट, तो ये 3 चीज़ों पे हम सरकार चलाने वाले हैं. पहले यहाँ के लोग ज़्यादा से लोग वेलफेयर के और डेवलपमेंट के लिए नहीं सोचते, ज़्यादा से ज़्यादा फ्रीडम के लिए सोचते, सोशल जस्टिस के लिए सोचते, इक्वल डेवलपमेंट के लिए सोचते. तो ये तीनों जो भी कांग्रेस के वादा है हम फुलफिल करने वाले हैं. इवन कैबिनेट में, इवन वेलफेयर स्कीम्स, इवन डेवलपमेंट, वट एवर इट इज़ देयर, these 3 are our priorities. And anyway 6 guarantees are there. We have to implement those 6 guarantees.
The midnight drama at Nagarjun Sagar Dam came as a big shocking news for people of Telangana. How do you approach this problem, sir? Even before you come to power, on the midnight of voting day, these problems have started.
नहीं वो ऐसा कुछ नहीं है. ऐसे कुछ ड्रामा होते रहता है. जहाँ पर प्रशांत किशोर जी रहेगा ना, ऐसे ड्रामा तो हम ज़्यादा सोचने का ज़रूरी नहीं है. तो प्रशांत किशोर को इसीलिए अपॉइंट कर लेते हैं कि ऐसे सरप्राइज एलिमेंट को दिखाने के लिए. तो प्रशांत जी का स्ट्रैटेजी हमें पता है. तो इम्यून हो गए, वो एंटीबायोटिक अभी कुछ काम के नहीं है.
Last question before I let you go off. It's a busy day for you. 9th, you had promised that there'll be new cabinet and vote taking. You are in the chief minister's race.
मैं बार बार लगातार मैं एक ही बात साफ कह रहा हूँ कि 80 MLAs are going to win. Everyone is ready to take up that job. So then party has to decide who is going to lead the cabinet. तो पार्टी जो बोलेगा हम लोग सब वही सुनने वाले हैं. तो यहाँ पर वो किसी हमारे कोई स्पेशल इम्पॉर्टेंस ऐसा कुछ नहीं है. एक प्रोसेस इज़ देयर. जो जीते MLAs का CLP बैठने वाले, MLAs का व्यू भी लेने वाले, पार्टी का व्यू भी लेने वाले. देन CWC हैज़ टू take a final call. It is like cricket selections. सेलेक्ट कमेटी रहेगा, प्लेयर्स को सेलेक्ट करने वाले, उसके बाद कैप्टन को बनाने वाले, उसके बाद बीसीसीआई हैज़ टू कंडक्ट द मैच. इट इज़ लाइक क्रिकेट. कांग्रेस पार्टी टीम कैप्टन को सेलेक्ट करना वही एक प्रोसेस है. वो प्रोसेस में जो डिसीजन पार्टी लेने वाले वो डिसीजन को.
As a captain, you have already come out with flying colors with big numbers. So you are in the race.
Yeah, being a party president, I have to work hard.
Yeah.
So this is my duty. This is not any obligation for anyone. So I am doing my job. I am doing my duty. So I have to take care of things.
Karnataka, Telangana, and resurgence of Congress party, 2024 Lok Sabha, Rahul Gandhi, the Prime Minister's candidate, you have all got your task cut out.
हिमाचल आप भूल गए. हिमाचल, कर्नाटका, तेलंगाना.
This is the recent I'm talking about.
Yes, हिमाचल, कर्नाटका, तेलंगाना एंड लाल किला. लाल किले पे 24 में हम तिरंगा झंडा लहराएंगे. देश को तोड़ने वाले को मुंह तोड़ जवाब देंगे. देश जोड़ने के लिए कांग्रेस पार्टी हमेशा कोशिश करते रहता है. गांधी परिवार ने वो कोशिश में आगे रहेगा. हमारे नेता राहुल गांधी जी इज गोइंग टू डू मिरेकल्स 2024.
All the best to you, sir, for the third results. That was Revanth Reddy, Telangana PCC President, talking exclusively to ITV Network with camera person Venkatesh Perumal Jayaprakash for NewsX from Hyderabad.
With Revanth Reddy, before we wrap up this particular bulletin, Ikram Sandhu, I'll leave the last word with you. We've been having a conversation with the BJP. They've been rather tight-lipped about who will be the chief ministers of the states where they've won today. But as far as Telangana is concerned, yes, Revanth Reddy is being diplomatic and politically correct when he says that the party leadership, whatever the party leadership decides will happen. But is there some hint that you can drop there? Are we expecting now Revanth Reddy to be the next chief minister of Telangana?
Devika, it is much above my pay scale to give you an answer on that. Let's be very truthful about it.
But it's well within my pay scale, sir, to ask that question.
Absolutely, absolutely. So you are entitled to that question, and I'm just a soldier of the party who cannot take a management decision. So it will be the High Command, which will be Mr. Kharge ji and Rahul ji, and of course our 65, 66, whatever number of MLAs that we get finally, who will decide. But yes, one thing is cast in stone that on the 9th, the oath taking will take place, and a Congress MLA will take oath as the Chief Minister of Telangana.
All right. On that note, we step into a very, very quick break, but we're back on the other side with more on this big election day. Stay tuned.